Well, looks like I'm terrified of Elizabeth Olsen now. It's finally here. One of the most anticipated movies of the year is upon us. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The story follows Doctor Strange and Wong, who decide to help a young teenager by the name of America Chavez, who is trying to run away from a mysterious force trying to kidnap her and take away her powers, where they can come in and defend her and possibly save the multiverse in the process. I know that's somewhat a bit if you haven't been aware, but this is the most I can say. Because to be honest, the non-spoiler segment is actually going to be pretty short because since this is such a massive film, even with a short length, there's a lot to say. So this non-spoiler segment is going to be short, but I'll try to get into some certain points. First off, first I'll get on the quality. The movie's pretty good. I like it more than the first, and because this feels more like a Doctor Strange experience, even though the first one was a solid Doctor Strange origin story, albeit just tread ground from Iron Man. But this one I like more. I like the experience more. It has noticeable flaws. It ain't perfect, but its flaws aren't damaging to the point where it ruins the film for me because there are a lot of great stuff in here. So that's what I'll say for that for now. I'll leave most of the criticisms for the spoiler segment. First, I'll talk about the characters. Pretty good. It's not 100% spot on, which again I'll get to later, but it's for the most part pretty good because Benedict Cumberbatch continues to kill as this character because man, he has come a long way from just the first movie alone, and I liked him well enough in the first movie, but it's he just keeps getting cooler and cooler, and he's climbing the ranks to be one of my favorite MCU characters. Let's see. Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda, great. She continues the streak she had from WandaVision and before that. I liked her before, but yeah, WandaVision there was an upgrade for her. Benedict Wong as Wong is still very charismatic and charming and funny and badass. Because I'm glad that for the past few years he's been just mostly been in cameos. So I'm glad here he actually has a substantial role and actually gets to do a lot here. So I'm glad for that. Then Xochitl Gomez as America Chavez. I wasn't necessarily blown away by her, but I like her. She's pretty charming. Her actress is charming. She does some cool things, albeit she is kind of a plot device here. But at least I liked her. And I hope to see more of her in the future because since the actress is up for it and the studio is up for it, they can tell more stories with her. Hell, they might even explore her queer identity. Because I know they did show her two mothers, and eventually they're going to make her queer because they didn't outright say it here, but they'll do it. There's other characters I could talk about, and I mean main characters, but I won't get into that now. I'll say that for later. Next, the visuals. This looks outstanding, from the colors to the set design to the lighting of certain environments. It makes each location stand out from the rest. Because damn, Sam Raimi really does have an eye, not just for visual storytelling, but for action. I'll get to the action a bit later, but yeah, this really does stand out from other MCU films and it gives it a more grandiose and epic feeling that this kind of story needed. And now, to those action sequences, because man, as we've seen with the Spider-Man, his Spider-Man trilogy, even with 3, he does know how to pull off incredible action. Because just about this has a lot of action, but you just feel so invested in it and immersed. It's not as good as Spider-Man 2's action, but it is outstanding. And there's also a lot of creativity at play because the one advantage that Doctor Strange has over most characters, I truly believe he himself has some of the coolest action scenes of the entire franchise because characters like Captain America and Iron Man give him a run for his money, but just the amount of creativity and choreography that you can do with this one character with his magic spells and ideas, he offers a ton of possibilities no matter the place. Actually, no, I'll get to that later. I'm not gonna try comparing these other superhero movies because like, I'm not here to do that. I'm here to do a Facebook ranking. But I'll say is I did like No Way Home more. But yeah, this was good, pretty solid, great. The music is also pretty good. Danny Elfman has collaborated with Sam Raimi a lot, and he continues to do his work. Like actually, this is actually Danny Elfman's best work in years because he's kind of had like a low point recently, but he comes back and swings hard. Because yeah, like he really does immerse and make you feel at the edges of your seat, like I did many times. And so, to be honest, this feels like the vibe that I was going for here. It feels like I'm watching an Avengers movie, albeit with a much it feels like an Avengers movie with a much smaller cast because of the epicness and the scale and the stakes. Well, not really the stakes, just the feeling. Feels like I'm watching an Avengers movie. Even like say the music feels very Avengers-like. Like I feel like in certain scenes it's like I'm watching Infinity War. And speaking of Infinity War, the first scene with Shuma Gorath, and yeah, I know the movie's marketing calls him Gargantos, but I'm gonna refer to its original name. That one fight scene in the beginning, it does feel like the opening of Infinity War, kind of where like Strange and Wong are fighting Thanos' goons in New York. It kind of feels straight out that. Even the one other scene in Carmitage, when the whole everyone working there teams up and tries to defend the fortress from a certain character, which I'll get to later, feels almost like the Wakanda battle from Infinity War. I'll be there it goes again, shorter, but yeah, it just does give me a major Infinity War vibes. I don't mind it, to be honest, because like Spider-Man No Way Home was supposed to feel like a Spider-Man movie. This is still a Doctor Strange movie, but occasionally with an Avengers-like scale. But man, with a movie called The Multiverse of Madness, we kind of only get to see 4 universes. And I know it's because it's a movie, it's a short movie-ish, but even with a longer movie, I feel like they kind of like explored that many universes well. And even like a show, and I know might have issues, as long as it's not just 6 episodes. They can do it. Anyway, that's the end of the non-spoiler segment. Now I get to the spoiler segment. I'll give it a few seconds. Okay. One of the first major criticisms that I have for this is that this should have been 20 minutes longer. Because how crazy is it that even movies like Shang-Chi and Black Widow is longer than this? I do wish it could have taken its time, especially because like it really, especially like yeah, it feel like it needed some more breathing room because in just the first half hour alone, there's already so many plot elements already at play. Like the kind of scene that would happen at the 40-minute mark happens here at like the 25-minute mark, and like, oh, already? We're already there? That was quick. I guess maybe it's because of those reshoots that happened back in November and December that had them to change the story significantly. But yeah, the first half hour does feel pretty rushed, and the second half it gets better. But I'll say this: even with its rushed pacing, it's somehow not terrible. I guess that's how Marvel works. Even when they have like a lot of things to fix, they find a way to fix it, not perfectly, but they do the best they can. Because like yeah, you can notice it being fast in just like the first few minutes, especially since it just starts immediately with not much explanation. But it doesn't feel like as like terrible. It doesn't feel like as bad as it could have been. Like at least it's better than like the theatrical cut of Justice League. Um, so yeah, I do wish it was longer just so it could be like more slow down and conversations and have more. It had, the movie does have character development that works. I'll be again fast character development, but it works. I do like that. I wish it was like there was more time to breathe. And the other thing is, there was the use of some side characters which I guess didn't really work for me. This one I'm kind of mixed on, which is Wanda slash Scarlet Witch herself, because I guess this one I'm not sure I'll have like I'll be agree with or disagree with for a while, but it's a bit odd that even with like the lessons she learned in WandaVision on learning to let go and realizing that her family ain't real and needing to keep herself hidden. But ever since that post-credit scene, it seems like she's still obsessed over wanting her kids and was willing to travel the multiverse to get them, despite the problems that come in with that the movie points out. So it does feel a bit of a regression. And the reason why I don't straight up disagree with it is that she was able to pull off some insane shit. Like so many cool stuff where I can almost forgive it, but it's odd. Not super flawed, but odd that they would write her like this. Because even like Iron Man being the sort of antagonist of Civil War, at least he was trying to do good. Here, Wanda is just straight up murders, intentionally murders people. Even if some of it is because like an alternate version controlled by her, but it was still her. So yeah, her straight up murdering people that didn't want this, and her being okay with it at the moment just feels odd. Especially since like the growth she had from Age of Ultron to WandaVision to here, that she was trying, but it seems like all she wants is her kids, and she didn't. It seems like she didn't matter who had to get in her way just to do it. But they make it seem like she sacrifices herself at the end, but I don't buy it because like sort of. Spoiler for Hawkeye. Skip the next 15 seconds. Just like what they did with Kingpin, if they don't show the body, doesn't mean they're dead. Because I know I have a feeling he's gonna be back in Echo. Anyway, I don't think she's gone. It'll be weird because now they have to give her another redemption arc. Yeah, but at least it won't be the end of her, because I do not believe this is the end of her. She's just too popular and there's still a lot of untapped potential. And it's already been like, what, 7 years since her debut? Wow. So yeah, I not fully on board with what they did, but she did do a lot of cool stuff, and I felt for her. And another is with Baron Mordo, Baron Carl Mordo, if I think I'm getting it right. Man, I miss this guy. It's like I really wanted to see this character back. Like the actor seems to like the character. Chiwetel Ejiofor, he seems to be fine working with Marvel. It took him this long to bring it back, but instead they bring it back as an alternate dimensional version of himself rather than the one that we know. And I guess that's kind of better because I heard rumors they want to kill him off and then replace him with this version. So I'm kind of glad they didn't do that so that they can still bring back the original version, because crazy. They finally bring him back. I actually like the character, and they don't, aside from a couple of cool moments and him being sort of important to the plot, he doesn't really do much, and it's kind of overall a waste, because after Strange kicks his ass, he doesn't come back again. It is again odd. I really hope that they can bring back and keep using that Mordo, because there's still a lot of potential with him. And it's also a bit odd that Strange had that one line saying that the original Mordo was jealous of him. I'm not sure if I remember right, but sure Mordo was pissed at him at the end of the first movie, but I don't think he was ever jealous of him. So that was strange. No pun intended. So yeah, that was weird that they bring him back like this and not be that important. And the other, like, I guess, the one character which I can talk about, which isn't as negative received, it's actually kind of interesting, is the use of Christine Palmer, because like they she's more interesting here than in the first movie. But what makes it kind of weird, weird and funny, is that this isn't even the main Christine that we're watching most of the time. It's an alternate version of herself that's more interesting than our Christine. How even that one episode of What If, she's more interesting than in the first movie. Because she does appear, but only a bit. And does anyone find it odd that she takes forever to look out the window, because by the time Shu McGord arrives, everyone's already outside, and like minutes later, she finally decides to look? A bit odd. But yeah, I still hope that they can at least find more ways, because again, there's it's not the end of the character, but I do hope they can like make at least the original version better, because the fact that they made an alternate version better, it's a bit, yeah, I keep repeating the same word, odd. But that's all I'll say on those characters. On those cameos that people who've seen the movie already know who I'm talking about. I know people were expecting a lot more cameos, but ever since you announced the length of just like 2 hours and 6 minutes, I knew there were going to be a lot. So I'm fine with that, because here they were to bring back, use Captain Carter, Maria Rambeau's Captain Marvel, Black Bolt, a different version of Black Bolt from the Inhumans ABC series, but with the same actor, which kind of gives you hope they can be the only thing in the MCU they can decanonize for them to do properly. Maybe use some of the same actors if they can. Patrick Stewart's Professor X, and freaking John Krasinski, my bad, as Mr. Fantastic. Because yeah, like the audience, she wasn't as loud as the other Spider-Man, but yeah, like people were happy to see them, and then they were killed off by Wanda. That doesn't mean it bothers me, because like yeah, like it's the multiverse. They can still bring back these characters in whatever way they want. Hell, they can like bring back Black Widow if they want to, played by a different actress, if they wanted to. So yeah, like them appearing for a few short minutes and then getting killed off isn't that big of a deal, because yeah, like it was crazy to see how they were killed off. Wow. I know people have these so many rumors of different characters that will show up, where it's like Deadpool, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, Magneto, young Magneto, or Tom Cruise, Iron Man, but they didn't arrive, so who knows if they were there removed or never planned. I'm fine, because that's what I kind of want, a Doctor Strange movie. So yeah, I was glad to see these cameos again. Okay, I guess what I'll get to next. The end. I guess a sort of, like, there could be a couple things that I can consider like some things that could have happened, but them not happening doesn't really ruin it for me. I imagine they would make this opening of the multiverse for Rio being a much bigger deal than it is, especially with a character like America Chavez, having the freaking ability to travel through multiverse at will now. Maybe that's why Stranger One would probably keep her a secret so that people wouldn't know about her. But yeah, a character who can now travel through the multiverse, that has a lot of potential for the future. Wow. Damn, another thing. I guess I don't have that in mind. Anyway, yeah, like another weird thing that I can say is like the ending was pretty odd. I know we'd be seeing the same words, but yeah, he's walking happy hunky dory, but then he just gets a third eye, just out of nowhere. They don't explain how he gets it, and it just ends like that, as it's supposed to be a cliffhanger. And yeah, and also the post-credit scenes. The first one, I say, could have been better. Like they could have done the exact same thing but done it better, because they introduced Charlize Theron as Clea. I've been wanting to see Clea for a while, so I'm glad she's here. But just her introduction feels so off. Like, she just straight up walks to Strange and asks for her help, and he just says yes. She opens a portal, and again, he has the third eye, which suddenly now he can control. Again, no explanation. And it seems like they're going to go through setting up the third Doctor Strange movie, which, again, cool, because this is a cool post-credit scene, just like, for a cool idea for a post-credit scene, but just like do it better, because it just felt like very last minute. And for the second post-credit scene, I guess maybe this wasn't the time to do a gag post-credit scene, because it was pretty funny, but for a movie as big as this, I feel like they should have done something better than just like an extra joke. Because I know like my audience was disappointed, I was sort of disappointed too, but it is what it is. Do have other points to get through. Sorry for the weird cut. Now I remember because it took me a while. Other complaints I can say is like there are some weird writing issues that kind of bring it down, not a lot, but a bit. For example, like some characters could have like fixed the problem by just keep moving or running, just stopping and waiting. And also like America Chavez not being able to control her power, but then she can get out of the box right after Wanda is like insanely close to her. Now she's confident enough and I guess scared enough to break open the plastic cube prison to get out. And then now suddenly like by the end, now she can like suddenly control her power just when like kind of the plot needs it. Because yeah, I don't think she really had the proper experience to control her power, but now at the end she does it. I guess good on her. At least now there's no more issues on that. But yeah, it just feels kind of last minute and a bit half-assed, to be honest. Whoever now beat her with to control her power. Well, that's all I can say on it. I really like this. I wouldn't really call it disappointing, but more like a great movie with disappointing elements. But I'm still glad I got to have it be worth the wait, mostly. But as long as it's here, it's already here. I had a good time, my audience did too, and that's all that matters. Man, the MCU experience, like just watching these movies and shows, really does feel once in a lifetime. Like it's the kind of like thing like you'll probably never properly experience again in like a later time. Like it's like that first time does feel it's most impactful, doesn't it? Anyway, for the score, I give this for now, who knows, it will change, an 86 out of 100. See you all on the next one. And hold down and calm down on that magic, ma'am, please.